Rinko Akiyama, the elite Taimanin, once made a chilling oath to kill anyone who threatened her twisted happiness after a demonic transformation. But here's the catch. This isn't the main timeline, you know. It's a what if that spiraled into a nightmare of its own. In one version, she was turned into a harmless plush toy by a witch, and in another, she's a universe-hopping warrior on a mission. So, who is the real Rinko, and why does her story have more forks than a bad choose-your-own-adventure game? Welcome back to the channel, where we dissect gaming lore like a conspiracy theorist on a coffee high. Hit that like and subscribe. Let's rewind to the year 2082, a world overrun by demons and shadowy organizations like the UFS and Nomad. This isn't a peaceful world. It's a constant war zone where Taimanin are the only line of defense. At 25, Akiyama Rinko is no rookie. She's a veteran teleporter with a sharp blade and a sharper will. Her story, however, is less of a straight line and more of a broken compass, spinning between canon and wild what-if scenarios. The main timeline, Taba, sees her sent to a black market casino on Karutabara Beach on a simple destruction mission. But Fuma Kotaro, our resident chaotic protagonist, wants the same place for himself, creating a messy conflict. She barely gets any dialogue in this event. She just fights, gets defeated, and that's a real blink and you'll miss it moment. This feels like a setup, a taste of things to come, a prelude to the multiverse of madness. Taba's true weirdness kicks off when Kotaro gets yeeted into the magical girl Yukikaze universe by brain flares. There, a version of Rinko exists, and her harsh training is basically a survival horror game for Kotaro. He spends most of his time running away from her, which says a lot about her aggression in that dimension. Thankfully, Kotaro manages to slingshot back to his own world, leaving that aggressive Rinko behind. It's a bizarre detour, but it plants a seed. There are versions of Rinko that are fundamentally different. Then we hit the what-if event that gives me chills, the one that's not canon but feels more intense. After an attack by Kotaro, she overuses her powers to escape to a safe house, but the Taima particles corrupt her. Her body starts transforming into a demon, and the physical change messes with her mind in the worst way. With her urges exploded, she sleeps with her unnamed Taimanin partner, using him to stabilize herself. Explaining she took in too many particles, she makes a dark vow: she will kill anyone who threatens their newfound happiness. This isn't just a power-up, it's a complete personality override, a fall from grace that's terrifying to imagine. It's the kind of story that makes you wonder about the cost of power in this universe. But the normal Taiba canon Rinko is more of a resilient survivor, bouncing back from bizarre situations. In 2084, she gets turned into a plush toy by Guignol Faust, which is humiliating for any warrior. Thankfully, Fuma Kotaro, Taba, defeats the witch golem, and she's reverted back to her normal self. This is a recurring theme. She's a character who gets knocked down, but gets back up again. In 2085, she's on a mission against Nomad member Valentia, but her path crosses with Hell Knight Carmela. They're about to clash swords when Lena crashes the party with her over-the-top enthusiasm, killing the tension. Later, she fights alternative universe versions of Igawa Sakura and Yatsu Murasaki from the Zero timeline. Thinking they're clones, she's eventually convinced by their skills that they must be the originals. This makes her apologize and back off, showing she has a code of honor. In some what-if scenarios, she even goes undercover for the UFS as Sky Edge, wearing a flashy white uniform. This shows her adaptability, even if it's a bit of a corporate sellout. The RPGX universe, however, resets everything after Taba, creating a cleaner, less traumatic origin. Born around 2062, she's a third-year student at Gosha Academy, senior to Kotaro and Yukikaze. Her Brokon affection for her brother is never mentioned. It's a fresh start for her character. In 2083, she disappears from school, having been moved to another world by a brain flayer. There, she lives with her younger self, and everyone sees through her bad lies about being a family member. It's a testament to her social awkwardness, even in a strange dimension. When Kotaro is also moved by the brain flayer Arsal, they work together to find a way back. She eventually slices Arsal in two, but the creature survives, healing to fight another day. This highlights the relentless nature of their enemies. You can't keep them down. On a prison mission to Amidahara, she's disguised as support for Kotaro, using her teleportation to help them escape. They clash with Warden Tekine Kaworu, whose chains slightly damage her blade, but they manage to get out. It's a small loss, but it sets up her next major conflict. In 2084, she tries to get her damaged blade fixed by a blacksmith who specializes in Edo-style swords. Her blade gets switched with Genosuke Murakumo's, an ex-student of that style, and they duel. Murakumo escapes, knowing his life is short, and seeks out Barde for power. Rinko follows him, leaving Gosha without permission, a rogue move that raises eyebrows. Asagi suggests waiting, believing Rinko has her reasons, showing a sliver of trust from her commander. With help from Noe Islane, she faces Murakumo again in a fair duel. This time, the transformed Blade Master's life ends in that honorable fight. It's a moment of closure for her, a justice served with her own hands. In 2085, she defends Gosha Village against a massive raid from a new Igawa revolt group and nomad demons. She faces one of the 4 Heavenly Kings, a legendary former leader of the samurais. Rinko doesn't back down. She kills him in single combat, proving her legendary status. This solidifies her reputation, not just as a Taimanin, but as a champion. Over the years, she befriends the Onmyoji Kiichi Azusa, training with her multiple times. Then, in 2086, Azusa vanishes without a trace, leaving Rinko worried and determined. Rinko starts her own search, teaming up with other Onmyoji, Kurahashi, Hokuto, and Kamimura Azuma. They find a strange Daidarabachi golem guarding a Brain Flayer ruin. She defeats it and recovers Azuma, but she notices the Brain Flayer tech in the ruin. Azusa talks the situation down, but Rinko lets the matter go, despite her suspicions. Unknown to Rinko, Azusa has been turned into a cyborg, a fate Rinko almost had herself. This is the ultimate irony. She saved her friend, but was blind to the true change. Rinko's story is a tapestry of survival, adaptation, and questionable choices across timelines. She's not a simple hero. She's a soldier who's been through hell and back, literally. The constant theme is her being a victim of circumstance, forced to make impossible calls. The what-if scenarios show her dark potential, a cautionary tale of power's corruption. But the canon timeline shows her resilience, her ability to bounce back and make things right. She's a character who's always at the center of chaos, but she never breaks. Her journey is a constant test of loyalty, honor, and identity. Is she a hero, a victim, or something in between? For me, her story is about the struggle to remain human in an inhuman world. It's a reminder that even the strongest warriors can be broken by their own power. But the question remains, which Rinko is the real one? Honestly, watching her navigate this multiversal mess makes me appreciate the simpler times. She's a fascinating, complex mess of a character, and I'm here for every timeline. I'm not sure Rinko wants to be saved. Maybe she's just tired of being a tool for everyone else in this world. This story isn't about fate, but about the choices she failed to make. See you in the next video. If you don't want to miss out on even crazier stories like this, subscribe now.